Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Pallegney. I do hope you're all doing very, very well and having a wonderful day. So yeah, here we are, back in France. So I've fast-forwarded time on from the last episode. We were in October, we're now in the 1st of November. Now first off, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you who reached out in the comments of the last video, just to let me know exactly where the goat milk and wool will spawn in this here pasture. And sure enough, now that I've jumped forward a month or so, we can see it here. It's sat nicely there, ticking away. There's not a huge amount. We've only got, what we got there, we've got 41 litres of goat milk, and we've got 50 litres of wool at the minute. Now, strangely enough, actually, when I jump into the pasture menu, it says 0 and 0 there, which is strange for all the different ages of goats and sheep. So I don't know, it's working, it's obviously doing something. It's clearly a mod conflict. It almost always is in Farming Simulator, isn't it? There'll be something going on in the background, but either way, they are producing, so that's all that matters. Slowly, but there's not a huge amount of them, let's be honest, so we'll just let that tick on by for now, as long as I keep them topped up with a bit of food. Now, regarding their food, that is going to be, well, not just their food, but food in general for the cows and for the sheep. That is going to be the main focus of today. Because we're in November, we want to get the last cut of grass done before winter kicks in. So we've got 2 fields of grass. We're going to turn one of them into a few grass bales and get the rest wrapped for silage for the cows to see them through the winter. And the other field, the larger field down towards the viaduct there, we're going to we'll get that mown and we'll run the tedder in there, get it turned into hay, and get that stashed away in the bale shed as well to keep the TMR machine topped up through the winter as well. So that's all good. We've not got a huge amount of straw in there. We've only got, I think, about 20-something thousand litres if memory serves. Let's just have a quick check and remind myself there. In the mixer there, yeah, just under 20,000 litres. So we'll see how far that lasts, obviously. We do still have a few straw bales, actually, thinking about it. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about this on the fly, but I think we do have quite a few straw bales stashed away in the bale shed, so we should be all right, actually, thinking about it. Now, again, onwards from the last episode, I am now running like I was in the last episode, I was running the latest version of the map, but I didn't start a new save, so all of the 100% of the features that were being made available for the updated version of the map wouldn't have been available to me, but I have done the transfer. I spent a little bit of time a couple of days ago just making sure everything ran properly and I didn't lose anything and hadn't gained anything or any of that. So we're now running. I started a new save essentially and transferred all the relevant files from the previous save into this save, and sure enough, everything's working fine. I've got all my tractors, I've got all my land, got all my cows and animals and sheep and goats, etc., and my eggs and my chickens. So it's brilliant. Works perfectly. But the manure issue that apparently was, in inverted commas, it wasn't necessarily fixed, but I think the terminology that MA7 put in the changelog was that they'd rebalanced it or something like that. The visual bug with the two manure piles, as you can see there, it says in one instance we've got 4643 litres of manure, and then at the bottom it says we've got 3587. So there is a little bit of confusion there still, but apparently I have read on the grapevine there that MA7 are working on this, and there is going to be an extra patch to the map coming soon on the mod hub to hopefully fix this, and they have said in that a new save game won't be needed, so that's brilliant. I'm grateful for that, to be honest. So fingers crossed that'll be coming in well, in due course, I suppose. But again, sticking with that very briefly, I want to say a massive shout out and a massive thank you to one of my viewers, Theo Vaughan. Hello mate, hope you're well if you are watching. He reached out to me a few days ago with a massively detailed kind of investigation that he'd done into this whole cow barn manure thing, and he reached out and he gave his explanations and his findings on Discord. He sent me a pretty long detailed message there on Discord, so I'm very grateful for you for doing that, mate. He had watched the last episode, recognised the issue, and he just got right into it and tried to figure out what was going on, and by the looks of things and the sounds of things, he'd done some extensive testing to get a better understanding of what was going on. I did follow his advice. I did spend a little bit of time seeing how I could follow his advice and see if I could get it fixed, but unfortunately I couldn't. I tried just about everything, new saves, and it was all down to there was two mods that I have disabled now in this save game. It was the info display extension mod and the additional field info mod, so I've got those two mods disabled now because I started this new save game fresh. and transferred all the data in, I made sure those two mods weren't running and weren't activated. So I've done everything I can from this side of things, but I still, yeah, I spent quite a bit of time faffing around with this as well, seeing if I can get it to work. And I did get it to work actually once or twice, but there was no real proper pattern to it. I got it to work in that the manure would spawn here, because that was half the problem. When I was fast forwarding time and I was watching the manure tick up in litres. On one occasion, both numbers would increase, and it was like, right, it's working. I could take from it with the manure grab and all that kind of stuff, and it would carry on spawning. And then I'd jump out of the game and come back in again, having made absolutely no changes. And the higher of the two manure readings, the one that's currently reading 4643, that would increase as I was fast forwarding time. But the one at the bottom that says 3587, that would actually stay on that numerical value, and it wouldn't increase. So there's clearly something not right somewhere in the background with the XMLs and the coding of this particular barn, perhaps. But nonetheless, like I say, MA7 Studios are on with it, and that's all good. So hopefully in the near future we will see some form of a little patch update for this, and yeah, get it all fixed. So that's all that matters. But the reality is, I'm in no stress, I'm in no rush for that, because obviously they're still producing. We're ticking over slowly on this save. I'm not jumping forward months and months and months. So, you know, once it gets fixed, and we'll start to able to do something with that manure, stick it into a BGA perhaps, or something like that, and the slurry once the numbers become big enough to work with. So that's all that matters. But before we do crack on, like I say, there's my straw. You see, we do have a little bit of straw to fall back on. That's all good. But yeah, before I do move on and crack on with a bit of field work, these are the fields we're going to be working in today. I also just want to have a little bit of a very quick showcase again of a mod that I had introduced to you all quite a few episodes ago over on Oakbridge Farm, and that is the task list mod by Oz. Again, hi Oz, if you're watching, mate. I really do appreciate you sending me this mod. It's not out yet still. He has been working on it diligently in the background, but it's a cracking little mod. It's those of you who watch my Oakbridge Farm series and episode know that I'd very briefly showcased it to you, in that what task list does is that you can essentially create groups and tasks for all the different jobs that you have to do on the farm, and that basically, it doesn't manage it for you. You've got to do all the work yourself, but you can essentially make a list of all the things that you need to do. If you've got lots to do, if you've got a busy farm, it can be quite easy to forget things now and again. So you can create a whole list of jobs for you to do, whether it's daily, monthly, field work, dealing with your animals, moving stuff around the farm, just, you know, selling things, taking things from point A to point B. You can make a list and group of things to your heart's content, entirely down to what you're doing on your particular farm. But one thing he has added in, and he is also in the process of adding in a few more features into the mod as well, which is why it's not out yet, but he will be sending it to Giants for testing eventually. But one thing he has added in the version that he recently sent to me is an animal food tracker, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. So I'm just going to showcase it to you really, really quickly, because I think it's genius. So jumping very quickly into our menus, and we scroll down here. This is the task list icon here. So as you can see, I've not got it running, because I just wanted to show you sorting it all out. So this is the screen you met with when you load up task lists for the first time. Now, I did showcase this in Oakbridge, on the Oakbridge Chronicles episodes a wee while back, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with this, but essentially you go to manage groups, you start a new group, add a group, and for this one I'm just going to call it cow food. So that's what we're going to do. Cow food. Yep, rock and roll. Now you can choose a group type. You can call it standard or template. For the purposes of sorting it out for your cow food, you want to keep it as standard. So we'll click on OK there. We close that down, and then we're going to go to add a task. So we go to manage tasks. We don't have any tasks yet, so we add a task. There we go. Choose a task type. Standard is free text. Husbandry can track food inputs and raises tasks if food types get low. So we click along in the box there, and as you can see, you click on husbandry. Now, I've chosen to do it on this save because I've got multiple animals. Obviously, we've got the cows, we've got the goats and the sheep, and we have some chickens as well. And I just think it's great. So we click on OK, and now it recognises the different animal pastures that we have on this particular save. Now I'm just going to demonstrate it with cow stalling for this one. It always bothers me, that name, cow stalling. It's a cow stall, but stalling for me is a car not starting properly. So anyway, cow stalling. So we click on that, and you can select the different types of food that you want to track the quantities of within that husbandry. So you can click on, you can select silage, you can select TMR, you can select grass, and you can select hay, or you can do one for each of them individually if you wanted to, which is brilliant. But for this purposes, we're going to select total mixed ration. So we select on OK, and now you can select the food level to track. So when the level drops below the target, a task will be added to add more food. So we can essentially do it in 10% increments. So if I want to have a little reminder pop up on the top right hand side of my screen when my cow husbandry's level of TMR falls below 30% or 40% or 50% all the way up to, you can do that. So if I just select 30% for the purposes of this demonstration, select OK, there we go. We've now got a task to manage the TMR levels of the cow stall. And there you go. Quite simply, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. So obviously we're not going to see anything in this episode necessarily, but I just think that concept of doing that, being able to track your animal food, I think is absolutely brilliant. So at some point in the near future, we will see, like I said, it's not necessarily going to be in this episode, but in the top right hand of the screen, we'll get a little message from Task List just reminding us that, right, your cow stall has now dropped below 30% of its total capacity of TMR. Get it sorted, FARMERSIM, and fill us up. So absolutely brilliant, really is. So I'm really grateful to Oz for sending me this mod ahead of time, allowing me to have a look at it and have a bit of a test of it. I love the user interface of it. I've got to say, I think it's really easy to use. It's really clever. It's really intuitive. It's not kind of difficult to get your head around. It's pretty straightforward. So all in good time, ladies and gentlemen. That mod will be no doubt coming to the Mod Hub ASAP when Oz has finished fettling it a bit and adding a bit more to it, so it's something to look forward to, I've got to say. Right, so anyway, down to a bit of field work. Like I say, we're going to crack on with the grass work. Now, what I'm going to do today, and this is something I don't normally tend to do, I tend to try and, do each individual job individually when it comes to field work, but what I'm going to try and do is, and I think we might be able to pull it off, the idea is, because the pickup widths of balers, I feel, and forage wagons in the game, I feel it's increased a bit generally by default. I think the pickup widths of the balers and stuff. So what my thought process is, as you can see what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to mow and bale at the same time. That's the idea. I hope I'm not going to regret doing this, but I'm pretty sure it should work. But I think we're roughly 5 to 10 horsepower shy of the collective power required to run both of these pieces of equipment. I think the Claas here is about 155 horsepower. The mower requires 70 horsepower. The baler requires 100. So we're a little bit shy on power, but I'm convinced it's going to work. I'm sure I've always been able to do that in the past. If if I'm 100 horsepower shy, then the tractor's going to have a really bad time, isn't it? But usually 5 to 10 horsepower shy, it tends to work relatively well, I think, he says naively. So let's see if we can get this done. But yeah, because the pickup widths tend to, I've just found them to be a little bit more generous than they used to be back on 22. So let's drop that down, get it unfolded, turn you on. Same with the baler. Let's turn you on, drop the pickup down, and I'm hopeful that we should. Come on, little tractor. Do me proud. Just going to run this little bit of an area as a test. 4 miles an hour. 5. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. I'm convinced it can run. There we go. Yeah, we get up to speed. Maybe it's just the way the ground lies there. But let me just jump out and have a look. Yeah. That's done the job there. It's mowed this little strip. The baler's following behind and picking up. Now, maybe, forgive me, I know if this is being a bit lazy, I suppose, trying to do it in this way. But with us only having the front mower on this tractor, we've still got the PTO and the capacity to run something on the back. So we just, I don't know, for a bit of a laugh, I suppose, it's worth having a try, seeing how effective it can be. Hopefully I don't melt the engine in the tractor in the process. So yeah. I'm going to crack on with this one. We've got, like I say, we're going to get this one mowed. This field is going to be turned to, we're just going to keep it as grass. We'll keep a few grass bales unwrapped aside for the goats and the sheep. and the rest we will wrap with the wrapper, of course, in due course. And the field's slightly down the hill there that runs up to the arches in the viaduct there. That's going to be, we're just going to run the mower in that, and then we'll follow behind with the tedder and turn that for hay. So let's crack on. There we are, job done. Now, from that field, we got 11 bales. Annoyingly as well, check out the amount that we've got in the baler behind us. The 5,500 litre bales were 13 litres shy of making the 12th bale. Frustratingly, but yeah, we got 11 bales off of that. 5,500 litres of bale. We got 60,500 litres of grass off the field. So that's half decent. So I think the plan, because what I am going to do, just a slight change of plan in that respect, I'm just going to focus on this field in today's episode, get this job boxed off, and I think what I'm going to do is we're going to keep 5 of the bales aside for the sheep and the goats, to see them through the next few months, because they do still have, if we just jump into our animal menu very quickly, they've got just under 45,000 litres in there, and they do have 100% meadow at 75,000 litres, so they should be alright, and to see us through the winter, I reckon if I gather 5 of these bales up and keep them stashed in the shed for now, and then the other 6 we'll wrap up with the wrapper very shortly, and get them loaded into the bale shed as well, and give them a little bit of time ahead to ferment. So yeah, and while I'm in the tractor now, what I'm going to do, as you can see, we're not running out of it completely, but we've the round bale net, and we've had a pallet of the stuff sat over at the dealership for quite some time now. So I think what I'm going to do very quickly is we're going to drop off these 2 bits here. There we go. I shall neatly try very quickly. Oh, look at that. Throw the baler back in there in the corner for now. So we won't be using this now for a little bit, I don't think. Till the next episode at least, anyway. Oh, do you know what? That's as good a place as any for now. Let's drop that off. And then hitch up the front loader. I'm going to have to do a bit of faffing here, aren't I? Because I want the pallet fork. And that's in front of the bale spike. So, bit of musical implements here very quickly. I'll go and get me, go and pick up my little pallet. I think we've got 3 or 4 rolls of bale twine left over at the dealership there. We'll go and pick that up, bring it back to the farm, fill up the baler, and then run around with the wrapper and then the bale spike and get the bales out the field and loaded up where they need to be. But I did want to also, I wanted to give another shout out to every single one of you, quite frankly. 3 days ago, the channel crossed over the amazing milestone of hitting 10,000 subscribers. What an achievement, I've got to say, and I've got to thank every single one of you who've come along for the ride since I started doing this a couple of years back. It's been amazing, it still is amazing, and it always will be amazing as far as I'm concerned. I love doing this, I really do. Every single aspect of it is, I adore it, I really do. The friends that I've made along the way, the new acquaintances, and all you guys who've come along to support me and leave comments in the videos and become friends in that respect. I hear from a lot of you regularly, and it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. But to have a number like 10,000 subscribers, it humbled me. It really did. And you know, every achievement like this always does. I just love it. I really do. So, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support, your friendship, and everything going forward, and in the past as well. It's been wonderful. It really has, and it still is. So yeah, and I think I'm recording this at the minute, Tuesday the 22nd. I don't actually know whether this video here is going to come out before or after, but I do have a 10,000 subscriber live stream planned over on Iowa. It's the perfect map for that, let's be honest. So I'm not too sure whether I'm going to be doing that live stream on Wednesday, tomorrow, or whether I'm going to be doing it on this Friday coming. So if this video does come out on the Friday, I hope you enjoyed the live stream that I did 2 days ago. If I do it the other way around, please join me for a live stream on Friday. But yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and it's, like I say, it still is. It's just an incredible thing. It really is. But the channel's doing quite well, to be honest. At the minute, like I say, it was 3 days ago that we hit 10,000 subscribers. We're almost at 10,200 already, and that's you know, so the channel growth in that respect has been really quite good recently. I think everything kind of slowed down a bit recently in the last few weeks. I know there's been a bit of a lull in Farming Simulator 25. I get that. It's been a bit of a difficult time, I suppose, over these last few weeks and months. But I kind of feel like it's starting to come back again. Whether that's just me, I don't know. I'm not too sure, but it does feel like things are starting to pick back up again. The maps are starting to come back out again. I know there's quite a few maps in the pipeline. I know there's quite a few of them that I'm looking forward to. One of them in particular is Judith Plains, Montana by DJ Modding. I've always been a massive fan of DJ Modding's work. I spent so much of my time back on 22 on Green Valley, Nebraska, and UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley. Massive fans of those maps. But yeah, he's been showcasing a few snippet teaser videos of Judith Plains, Montana recently, and it looks brilliant. It'll be a 4X map, of course. It's so for PC only, but very excited for that. I do love myself. For me personally, a 4X map is my perfect size. I don't know why. I can't give you a reason why. Really, it just seems to be my perfect size. Quite frankly, I love getting my teeth into a nice big detailed auto drive course, and obviously on a 4X map, the fields tend to be bigger, and yeah, it's my kind of thing, that I've got to say. So I'm really, really excited for the release of Judith Plains, Montana. It looks awesome. So right, anyway, enough of my waffle again. Like I say, I just wanted to say to every single one of you, thank you so much to all of you, whether you're subscribers, channel members, Discord members, the whole community. You're all absolutely amazing, and I love every single one of you. It's a brilliant, brilliant thing. It really is. And I've just realised while I've been waffling away, I've taken off my front loader. I wanted to keep that on, didn't I? Silly boy. I just wanted to swap out for the bale spike, so let's quickly do that now. But what I'm going to do is right, there we go. Let's hitch that back up. Let's disconnect that. Let's watch where I'm going here. And actually, now that I've got the wrapper on, I'll run round. I'm going to wrap up all the bales and pick up the other 5 and get them all loaded into the shed. So let's get to it. Right, there we go. Loaded into the shed, and as you can see from the numbers there, we've still got 17 fully fermented bales of silage at 5,500 litres a bale. Gives us about 93,500 litres of silage in here still to load into the TMR machine. That's great. We've got a ton of straw. We've now got a little bit more grass as well. So now we just need to focus on the hay, which will come from the other grass field, but that'll be in the next episode. I think in the next episode, now that we're coming into winter, or approaching winter anyway, next month, it'll be a case of sorting out that hay, and then we've got everything we need to keep all the animals fed, as it were, for winter. And then it'll be a case of getting through winter, I think, pretty much. That's the... that'll be the distant game plan, as it were. But like I say, sorting that grass field down the hill there will be in the next episode here on Pallegney. But for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please consider giving the video a like if you can. It does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 and you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, as always, I would be massively appreciative. And of course, if any of you are in the market also for an online server and you like the idea again of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which again will be in the video description below. Any help and support there also would be massively appreciated. So, thank you very much for your time again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.